All right, and we welcome you to Winslow Township High School for a big South Jersey football matchup between the Winslow Township Eagles and the Burlington Falcons. Live here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network, Simon Rosenwasser here with you as we've got a good one on tap. Burlington coming in. They are one of the few undefeated teams in Jersey, 7-0. Their record coming into this game. They almost went down last week, but they did pull it out, playing Highland and beating them 14-13. Team that Winslow did battle with earlier this year. Winslow, they've got a up and down year. They have played well, but have had some heartbreaking losses the last couple of weeks, including last week against Clearview, had a 17-0 lead and ended up going down on a game-winning field goal in double overtime. So it's been a rough couple of weeks for Winslow in the win department. However, if the season ended right now, the Winslow Eagles would be in the playoffs. Now, if they lose today, their future is in much more jeopardy. If they win, they're in. They win tonight, and that's how Kenny Scott is approaching this game with his team. He said to his squad that if you win tonight, you are in the playoffs. They're in control of their own destiny. It is a tall task going up against the Burlington Falcons in this one, as Winslow will kick off. Green jerseys, as you see, moving left to right. And it'll be the Falcons of Burlington with a stout defense that will remain on the sideline for the moment. They'll start with the football. And they'll have a drive that starts at the 21-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Burlington Falcons. Last week, beating Highland 14-13, got over a 100-yard game on the ground from their running back and Vines. And Justin Johnson through the air led the aerial attack, at least receiving the football. Quarterback and Danny Grozowski go to the right side. And it is a gain of 2 or 3 on the bubble screen to start the game for the Falcons. Tom Madera, the head coach, he's been rumored as being a favorite for at least a nominee for Coach of the Year in South Jersey. 2nd and 6. Grozowski, the quarterback, under center, pitches to the left side and hitting the hole. It's got the first down and more. There's Rodney Vines Jr. with a solid gain of pushing 10 yards. And it'll move the chains for a first down. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Again, Rodney Vines last week, 137 yards on 12 carries. And he's got 10 here on 1 carry early on in this game. Another screen to the right side, and it's completed. Isaiah Pay makes the catch for Burlington Township. And he's able to weave his way towards that first down marker, maybe marked just short. But a solid gain on first down yet again for Burlington, and they are moving here. Of course, we compete with the band. We'll do our best to stay focused in this game. Band right in front of us here in the broadcast booth. It's a 2nd and 2. And they give it to the first man through. Winslow's got a stout defense in front and stops him for a modest gain, but enough for the first down. It looks like that was number 21 in Semi Robertson, the junior running back. And it will indeed move the chains. 1st and 10, Burlington, right on the cusp of midfield at the 48-yard line, as we are off and running here. Dry conditions as we speak, not too cold, but we know that there is rain in the forecast later this evening. So the teams might air it out, may be better off airing it out here in this first half and trying to put the points on the board in the first half, because we can only guess what's going to happen and what the conditions are going to be in the second. As we've got an incompletion, it'll be 2nd and 10 for Burlington. couple of short passes, the first time we've seen Dan Grozowski air it out. Against 7-0 Falcons team. Second and 10, Grozowski in the shotgun. He's got a man in motion. Coming to the near side, he's looking that way, and on a line, he catches that ball. It's Tyrese Ware, who's still moving and pulling his defender down inside the 10. Isaiah Pay actually was able to catch that on a slant and head down for a really good gain. There was a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to go against Burlington. So Winslow catches a break. What a catch there. Great hands from Isaiah Pay. Grozowski fired that ball in there. It's going to be wiped away regardless, so it'll be second and long. And again, Winslow dodging a bullet there. That would have been a big gain for Burlington all the way inside the 10. Instead, it'll be second and, what about 15 upcoming for Burlington Township. Just 2 minutes into the game, first drive of the game for either team, and it's the Falcons who work with a second and 15 here. Clock rolls past 10 minutes, 2 minutes into the game, and a draw play, the run for Vines, and Shifty moves up past the 45-yard line of Winslow into Winslow territory at the 43. So gaining those penalty yards back. Not quite the big gain that they had on that first second down play, but now they set up a third and short. Vines a second carry, and already over 20 yards, averaged well over 10 yards a carry last week, again against Highland, a very stout defensive front. Here's the third and short, and they're throwing, and the ball is incomplete, broken up. The defensive play made by Prince Drew Bay on the far side, and we'll see Bay as the quarterback if Winslow gets the ball here, but in high school football, you often see coaches roll the dice in this situation, and it looks like, well, no, the punter is back. This is one of those coin flip situations. 4th and 2, 4th and 3. You're in enemy territory. But Burlington Township, they love their defense and trust their defense to hold Winslow once they get the ball, especially if it's deep. They are going to punt, and it's booted away, angled towards the left side, bounces at the 10, and going to roll inside the, inside the 5. It'll be stopped right there at the 5-yard line, and that's where Winslow will start their drive. So 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the drive, and a punt for Burlington, and Winslow will start their first drive at the 5-yard line. The Eagles have moved the ball pretty well this year. Their issues have come when they get down into the red zone and trying to punch the ball in. That's certainly where the issues came last week, trying to put the finishing touches on what was a 17-0 lead against Clearview, but just could not punch it in to give themselves that cushion. But here's Prince Drew Bay handing off on first down, and it's DeMel Reed. I think that ball is out, and it's a Winslow Township player that got there first, but who knows what happens at the bottom of the pile, and it is going to be Burlington ball. So big turnover there, and the decision to punt the ball ends up being the right decision as they're able to turn Winslow over on the first play from scrimmage for the offense. And now Burlington knocking on the door 3 minutes into this game. 4 receivers set. Rodney Vines joins Grozowski in the backfield. Grozowski throwing towards the end zone, near side. It's caught for a touchdown, and Burlington is on the board 6-0. Justin Johnson with a 14-yard touchdown reception, and it's the Falcons on the board. And Johnson's touchdown reception. The extra point is up and good by Carlton Bird. And it is a 7-0 lead for Burlington. I see that's switched up on our scoreboard here. We'll try to get that corrected. Burlington up 7-0.
So Bird is lining up to kick that deep. The Winslow, we have Bunch and Jalen Cheek. Check that, that's Jalen Brown with Donovan Bunch.
And Donovan Bunch back deep to return. He's going to let it bounce into the end zone. It will be a touchback.
So the ball will go out to the 20, kick into the end zone. Touchback. Winslow's second possession will begin at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
Now we got the scoreboard all figured out here. 7-0 Burlington, and Prince Drew Bay throwing on 1st down. And a good catch. The throw a little bit offline, but making the play. There's number 8, Jaden Brown, one of the favorite targets of Prince Drew Bay. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for Winslow as they start this drive. Down 7-0 now. Now Prince Drew Bay finding Jaden Brown on the other side, and it's a 1st down. So a couple of catches for Jaden Brown to move the chains, and Winslow gets up to the 32-yard line. Three receivers here on the near side for Winslow. Prince Drew Bay in the gun. DeMel Reed coming near side, hits, and he's able to shake off his first tackler and then get a solid gain on 1st down of 5 yards, maybe 6, and brings up a 2nd and 4.
About a 6-yard pickup, going to bring up 2nd and 4.
Andre Nadaye, senior cornerback for Burlington, made the play. Bay, quick shot to the far side, and it's going to go backwards, maybe lose a yard. So he does find Isaiah Lewis. But it'll bring up a 3rd and just about 5 upcoming here for Winslow. Prince Drew Bay pitches to Reed. And he's got some work to do here. DeMel Reed's got the 1st down. Tough running from DeMel Reed. He was hit probably 5 yards before the 1st down marker, right at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to dish out some punishment. Feeling the pain is now David Holman. And he is down. One of the Falcons that attempted to make the tackle. And it's Demel Reed who was able to get the first down. But down for the count is David Holman, the senior. 6 foot 236, according to MaxPreps.com. And they got some big bodies on this defensive front for Burlington. It has led them to success this year. 7-0 record. It has not been easy for their opponents. Hard-fought battle last week with Highland Regional. So working on the leg of Dave Holman. 6:45 left here in the first quarter. 14-yard Justin Johnson reception for a touchdown.
Let's give it up to the English player, David.
So Holman gets up and gonna need a lot of help to walk off the field here.
The Eagles right about the 45-yard line, still in their own territory.
So the result is a first down after the run by Demel Reed, and now a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for Winslow. Accumulated 25 yards thus far on the drive. Got a man in motion, that's Daniel Dedura. Prince Drew Bay, quick pass to Donovan Bunch here on the near side, and Bunch is wrapped up very quickly. Bunch rated one of the best players in New Jersey. Multi-talented athlete. See him on the outside on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Wide receiver on offense and a phenomenal cornerback, defensive back. Sometimes playing safety for Winslow. Wrapped up by Andre Nadaye. That is his second tackle. And a modest gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9 for Winslow. Prince Drew Bay picks up the ball off the ground. Bad snap. Gonna fire deep down the field. He's looking for Bunch, and he has got Donovan Bunch for a touchdown. Prince Drew Bay with a bomb to Bunch. 54-yard touchdown pass from Prince Drew Bay to Donovan Bunch. And it's 7-6. Two minutes and 45 seconds off the clock from that drive, and it'll be Daniel Dedura lining up for an extra point. It's blocked after a bad snap, so they'll have to settle for 6 points, and Burlington will maintain their lead, but only just 7-6. As Prince Drew Bay finds Donovan Bunch for the long touchdown. Right on cue for Donovan Bunch, just singing his praises as a great athlete. Again, one of the top football recruits in New Jersey. A lot of playmakers on this Winslow squad. Coach Kenny Scott in his first year has done a phenomenal job. So Daniel Dedura will kick off. He gets a new kicking tee. Looks like he's going to set up at the near hash mark. Short kick fielded at the 18-yard line. And Tyrese Ware returns it. Anthony Campo makes the play on defense, at least I should say on special teams. The drive will start at the 36-yard line of Burlington. So the third possession here for Burlington, punting on their first possession. Recovering a fumble and having a short field to work with on their second. And scoring a touchdown. And now here's their third. Little trickery here on the reverse. They find Rodney Vines, who's still going across the first down marker and up towards midfield before he's finally brought down by Emerald Mitchell. So Rodney Vines quickly showing why he has put up the numbers that he has throughout the first 7 games of the season. Clearly going to be a focal point of the offense of Burlington here. This time throwing, Grozowski with pressure in his face, and he has to get rid of it and throw it well over his intended target. He had a man coming right in on him, and that was Cameron Osborne. Osborne had a phenomenal game last week, all over the place, defensively, offensively, special teams, you name it. Number 4 has really stepped up in the last couple of weeks for the Winslow Township Eagles. And on that play in particular, forces an incompletion. It'll be 2nd and 10. Here with a little bit more time, but now going to tuck it and run, and he's got room along the left side and will scoot out of bounds at the 36. 14-yard scamper for Dan Grozowski. 5'9", 167, the quarterback for Burlington. And they've worked it into Winslow territory for the 1st and 10 at the 36. Grozowski claps his hands to get the snap, and Jasim Letsom waves his fingers and says no, no. He makes the play defensively and holds Vines to just a modest gain, a gain of 1 on 1st down. Not even. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Grozowski, pressure coming. Wow, weaves his way out of it. And now going to tuck it and run up the middle before he's walloped by Andrew Needham Jr., but not before. Grozowski shows some good pocket presence and then the ability to escape out of the pressure and turn what looked like it may have been a good defensive play for Winslow into a good offensive play for Burlington. 1st and 10 from the 24. Vines the lone back. Movement before the snap. Call a false start against Burlington. First and 15. Grozowski, time to throw, airs it deep. Bunch is there for an interception. Donovan Bunch coming back the other way. And the man who just scored a touchdown with a long reception makes the play defensively. I told you, offense, defense, Donovan Bunch, a stud for Winslow. And the Eagles take over possession. First turnover by Burlington. And Winslow will start the drive at the 27-yard line. So back on the field is Prince Drew Bay. He takes the snap. They set up a screen to the far side. And that's caught by Jaden Brown. Gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play for Jaden Brown. Now Winslow with an opportunity and field position here. Go down and score the football, and you've got a lead here in this game after a rough start, fumbling on their first play from scrimmage. They have weathered the storm, no pun intended, with weather expected here in the second half. And DeMel Reed walloped behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long. Like it may have been number 48, Jalen Blackwell was able to get to DeMel Reed, among others. Third and long, Bay fires. High pass off the fingertips of his intended target, and Isaiah Lewis. So it'll bring up a 4th down, and Winslow will go 3 and out here. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. DeDur to punt. End over end, bounces at the 50. Takes a Winslow bounce into Burlington territory, but only just. They start at the 48. Oh, there was a late flag on the play, and it's going to go against Burlington. It's going to back them up. 15 yards, it looks like, all the way back to their 33. So that's a significant penalty. Leading by 1. Falcons get the ball back. An interception on their last drive. Winslow making some defensive substitutions before this drive begins. And the whistle signifies the offense to set. Grozowski Hands off to Vines. Tries to bounce it outside, but Winslow stays at home. Stays in bounds, so the clock continues. Second and 11. Grozowski takes the snap, throws a duck up in the air, and this one is picked off. A second interception, this time by Jaden Brown. Grozowski just almost looking like he was forcing that ball up there. Just threw it almost as high as he could. And plenty of time for Jaden Brown to camp under it and make the play. So two big Winslow wide receivers make the defensive plays and show their hands on the defensive side of the ball. And so the last two passes for Dan Grozowski, both interceptions. And Winslow takes over yet again, this time at the 34. Prince Drubay with good protection, throws off his back foot. He's got Donovan Bunch, who could not make the adjustment. Whoa, the referee took a spill on the far side. I saw a flag go out. He may have tripped over somebody on the far side, and they may get a penalty on Burlington for sideline interference. Flag on the field. The referee tripped on the far side, totally away from the play on the complete other side of the field. And it looks like there's some bench players over there that were in the general vicinity. Didn't have my eyes on that referee, but believe that's what the call is going to be. And you see the referee with the white hat going over to the far side to explain to the coach and the sideline over there at Burlington to let them know that it's going to be sideline interference here. Well, we await the official call. And they are going to mark off the penalty yardage. Wow, that's a 15-yard penalty. And Donovan Bunch, who couldn't make the play on offense, doesn't matter. They get 15 yards anyway, does his Winslow Township Eagles. So now a 1st and 10 from the 49. Again, the scenario for Winslow, if they win, they are in terms of the playoffs. If they lose, they still have a shot, but other things would have to happen in the games around South Jersey. 1st and 10. Prince Drubay fires to the far side. Jaden Brown blanketed over there, and a flag comes in at the end. As on the coverage, Teron Ware came up a little bit gimpy with his arm. It looked like he was holding that arm, but it is going to be pass interference. There was a flag on the play, and Teron Ware called for the penalty. So a couple of penalties here against Burlington, shooting themselves in the foot here in this drive. Winslow hasn't officially run a play, and they've got the ball at the 36-yard line of Burlington. 1:14 to go here in the first quarter. And Prince Drubay keeps it himself. He's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Fioli at the defensive stop. Prince Drew Bay is the leading rusher for Winslow Township High School, as well as, of course, the leading passer. The first time we've seen him attempt to use his legs here in this game. It'll be 2nd and 10. Pressure coming. On the run, Prince Drew Bay just gets rid of it. And it's an incomplete pass, 3rd and 10. Donovan Bunch, the closest receiver, but that play was broken up as the defensive front got home. Justin Lee of Burlington among those applying pressure on the Winslow quarterback. 3rd and 10. You're in 4-down terror. You're in enemy territory. So if you're the Winslow side, you might think about not having to get all 10 of these yards. Perhaps making this 4-down territory. Here's the 3rd and 10 play. Prince Drew looking down the middle. It's incomplete. In the direction of number 9 in Kyle Seeger. Bring up a 4th and 10. And it looks like the punting unit is coming onto the field. You pick up 5 or 6 yards there, you might consider going for it on 4th down, but they throw an incomplete pass and not really worth the risk of giving Burlington a relatively short field. 21 seconds left here in the first quarter. Dan Dedura standing at midfield. End over ends. 18-yard line is where this drive will start. So here comes the 5th offensive series for Burlington. And they've had some issues here in the first quarter. Their lone touchdown came on a short field, 14 yards. And 2 interceptions the last couple of attempts for Danny Grozowski, the senior quarterback. Could be the last play of the half. It's Vines who's taken down. Good tackle by Jaden Brown, or else Vines could have been off to the races. Gains 5 on 1st down, and that will do it for the first quarter. So, good action back and forth. 2 good football teams here in South Jersey. It's the Burlington Falcons 7 and the Winslow Eagles 6. We start the second quarter. So 12 minutes back on the clock to start the second quarter of play in a 1-point game here from Atco, New Jersey, on the campus of Winslow Township High School. Simon Rosenwasser here with you on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. 2nd and 5 for Burlington. They set up a screen to the near side. And it's completed. Maybe not for a first down, but it'll be close as Isaiah Pay makes the catch. Number 24 for Burlington, showing some good hands here in the early going for Burlington. It's going to bring up a 3rd and very short. In fact, they're going to stop the clock to measure, it looks like, as they mark it right at the 28-yard line. Sticks will come out. First down is the call. So 1st and 10 from the 28 for Burlington. A 14-yard touchdown to Justin Johnson, the lone score for the Falcons here in this game. A 1-point advantage, the same advantage they had at the end of the game last week against Highland. And off to Vines with some explosive speed and power up the middle, and a gain of 10, maybe 11 on first down to move the chains quickly. And Jaden Brown on the stop for Winslow. Rodney Vines Jr. is the running back. 3 receivers bunched up on the far side of the formation. In motion is Isaiah Pay. He's going to lead the block for Vines, who's patient, but the hole does not open up as Winslow is able to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's like Prince Trouvé in there on the stop, as well as Andrew Needham Jr. Falls forward for a gain of 1, and 2nd and 9 will be the situation for Burlington. Got to imagine that those first down runs are going to be critical in this game. Burlington, a team that likes to ground and pound, and so far has had most of their success offensively on the ground with Vines. Couple of interceptions and nearly another one for Danny Grozowski as a flag comes out after the play. Pass was incomplete. It would be 3rd and 9, but that's not considering the flag that came out. They're going to call pass interference, it looks like. Kenny Scott here on the near side saying that pass was deflected, which would wipe away. And it looks like that is going to be the case. Kenny Scott gets his wish. The call is the ball was deflected at the line. And it's 3rd down. So no flag, 3rd and 9. And Grozowski looking for a short pass, and then he's taken down. Cam Osborne in on the sack. And Winslow going to force Burlington to punt. So far the Winslow defense coming to play, but that has been the case in the first halves a lot this year for the Eagles. The real test will be to see what happens as this game goes on. Good punt. And Donovan Bunch lets it drop. It's down at the 36-yard line.
Down right by the 36-yard line. Winslow Township will take over. Next possession. First and 10.
So about 2 minutes off the clock on that Burlington drive. Ends in a punt. Last two possessions for Winslow have also ended in punts. For that 54-yard touchdown pass, I should say after that 54-yard touchdown pass from Prince Drew Bay to Donovan Bunch. And now Bay and company take over here in their own territory, a 1st and 10 with 9:21 on the clock. An option play, Demel Reed out wide, takes the pitch and wrestled down at the 40. Gain of 3 for Demel Reed.
Second and 7 at the 40-yard line.
Eagles like to run their offense quickly when they get good momentum. Bay passes, the ball was right off the fingertips of Isaiah Lewis. That was beautiful recognition by Prince Drew Bay. You saw Burlington bringing the house there. The pressure was coming in. The one-on-one coverage was here on the near side, and Prince Drew Bay made the throw. Maybe just a hair in front of Isaiah Lewis, but very nearly a long play for Winslow. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 7. Demel Reed flanks Prince Drew Bay. Rolling right, throwing on the run. It's high and it's brought in for a catch, but the ball pops out. Now Jalen Cheek, for a moment, looked like he hauled that in full extension, but he took a shot coming down to the ground and the ball popped out. It'll bring up a 4th and 7. So a little spit and sputter from both offenses as Daniel Dedura is back out for the 3rd time today. Line drive kick. And that's a good one for Dedura. It's going to bounce inside the 20 and be down at the 19. Very short drive for Winslow, only 1 minute off the clock. Run up the middle. And that was Semi Robertson. Gain of 8. And Burlington quickly gets back to the line, this time with Vines back in the running back spot. And it is Vines. And he is stacked up by 2 Winslow players, Cam Osborne as well as Jeremy Cobb. So 3rd down coming up.
third and short.
Going to try to sneak it on third down, and
Quarterback 2-2.
looks like he's going to, on the second effort, get across the first down yardage.
So that's enough for a first. Gets it out to about the 30.
So 1st and 10 from the 32. Burlington still looking for that big play. Winslow's been able to hold them to small chunks here and there. And now Vines is having some trouble finding the holes as Jeremy Cobb comes in and makes another play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and long. Again, a critical part of this game, you would think, would be the first down runs for Vines. Trying to set up those 2nd and shorts. That's where you can get really creative with your play calling. But if Winslow's defensive front does its job, it'll be a little bit tougher for Burlington. 2nd and 8. They pitch it this time to Vines. Gain of 3 or 4 on the play. Vines showing some good patience, waiting for those holes to develop via the offensive line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3 yards for the Falcons. Fake the handoff, tipped up in the air and incomplete. It was tipped at the line, and Andrew Needham was right around the ball. If he located it, would have been an easy interception. Instead, it's 4th down, and Winslow, even though they didn't get the interception, they do get the 3rd down stop. And Donovan Bunch back to receive a punt. And they fake it. On 4th and 4, it's a fake, and it's a 1st down for Burlington. Omar Rogers on the direct snap to the left side, and Burlington, there's a big play that they were looking for. Not content with punting the ball away for the 3rd time already. So the Falcons able to pick up a fresh set of downs now at the 41. And Vines with an inside run. Stopped by Jamel Kwan. Gain of 3 on the play. Grozowski, another handoff to Vines. Gets across the 35-yard line. It'll bring up another 3rd and short. So 3rd and just about 3 coming up here for Burlington Township. Eagles looking to pinch in for another 3rd down stop. Faking the short handoff and a short pass up the middle. And it's caught by the tight end, John Norris. So that looked similar to the play that Burlington was trying to run on their last 3rd down attempt, the one that was batted down at the line. Winslow forced looked like a 4th down punt. Of course, Burlington faking it And continuing the drive, now it's a 1st and 10. Again, it's Vines on the handoff. And not getting much there as we tick under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Burlington still clinging to the 1-point lead. Now Grozowski looking to pass and firing far side. That ball incomplete right at the sticks. He was looking for Norris. So 3rd and 10 here for Burlington. Not a ton of success throwing the football, but an obvious passing situation. Maybe not so obvious when you have Vines behind center, but it is Grozowski trying to escape, and he won't be able to do so as he goes down for a big loss on 3rd down. And Jamel Kwan makes the play, his 2nd tackle here on this drive. It'll be 4th and long. And this time it does look like Burlington will punt. Carlton Bird back. Pretty deep in Winslow territory at the 28, but oh wow, they're lining up for a field goal. The flags come out. Let's see what happens here. They were lining up for a field goal. So an illegal substitution against Burlington will bring them back 5 yards, and what would have been a long field goal attempt before the penalty now will put the field goal out of the realm of possibility. So we're just going to punt the ball away, says Burlington. 4th and 18. Carlton Bird back to kick. Donovan Bunch back to receive. Low snap, dug out, and Bunch will let it bounce. Takes a Winslow bounce, and down at the 14. So with 2:50 left to go in the second quarter, Winslow down by 1 will have the football. Drive number 6 on the game for the Winslow Eagles. Each team scoring on their second drives of the game. Not much from the offenses other than that. So Winslow backed up deep into their own territory. 4 receivers bunched up on the right side of the formation is Prince Drew Bay with a delayed handoff. And a good run for Winslow. It was Jaden Brown, the receiver, who came around to take the ball and take it for a good gain. 1st and 10 to the 25. 11 yards for Jaden Brown. Now empty backfield for Prince Drew Bay. Looks, plenty of time, and finds his man. Isaiah Lewis makes the catch. Great protection up front for Winslow. And Prince Drew Bay had all day to find Isaiah Lewis. So 1st and 10 to the 47. Receivers bunched up on the far side. Prince Drew Bay with pressure coming is going to throw an interception off his back foot, not on the same page as his receiver Isaiah Lewis. And the interception made by Teron Ware.
Township's 30-yard line. Burlington Township will take over with 2:18 left on the clock.
It's only 32 seconds on the drive for Winslow. A combined 1 minute and 32 seconds of possession their last two drives. And Burlington will take back over at the 30. And off to Vines on first down. And Jasim Letsom makes the play again. Letsom, big body in the middle, plugs a lot of holes for Winslow. 5'10", 275. Another handoff to Vines. This time he's popped by Andrew Needham Jr. Number of big runs for Vines in the first quarter, in the early part of the second quarter, but Winslow Township has really locked down defensively, especially on the early down runs by Vines, as we have a timeout on the field, 1:41 to go. And a 3rd and 5 coming up for Burlington. Big play here, 3rd and 5. Man in motion, and a reverse. But Winslow staying at home. Good job defensively by Winslow Township. Jamel Kwan was the one who blew up the play and forced Justin Johnson all the way deep. And then the defense able to recover. Ends up being a loss on the play, and the Eagles will get the ball back. That is, of course, if Burlington actually does punt here. We just saw them run a fake their last series. Donovan Bunch is in position to return. So 3 and out after the interception. Punt is away, and Donovan Bunch gets out of the vicinity, down to the 25. So 1st and 10 now for Winslow, 1:23 to go. Prince Roubaix fires. Good arm to Donovan Bunch across the 40-yard line, and a gain of 15. Winslow trying to set up the short screen, not there, so Prince Roubaix tucks it and runs. Gets a couple of yards, and then a little push from his offensive line. Put him across the 45. Winslow would love some points here before half. Of course, it would give them the lead down by 1, but they do also receive the second half kickoff. Bay pumps, still looking. Now comes across the field, and Donovan Bunch on the ground was able to trap it, but it's called incomplete. Slick field out there. Very soft mud, and it wouldn't shock me to see a couple more players slip and fall, certainly when they're trying to make some hard cuts. Tough for Donovan Bunch there to stay on his feet, but he did all he could. 3rd and 6. Just about 40 seconds left. Set up the screen to Jaden Brown. And Brown is going to be short of first down yardage, just shy of the 50. Clock stops at 33 seconds. So 4th and 2. And this will be an interesting decision by Coach Scott. The conservative play would be to punt. And it looks like that's what Winslow is going to do. Their defense has done their job. No big plays. So pretty much you punt here. And the way that the game has gone, you are very confident that you're going to go into the halftime locker room just down by 1. And even if you did accumulate the yardage on 4th down, it's not a given that you can go 50 yards against this Burlington defense. So the decision is to punt, unless they're going to fake, and that's what it looked like they were going to do, but a flag came out. It was a direct snap to Jeremy Cobb, and there was movement before the snap, and Winslow's going to back up. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty back to the 45, and Daniel Dodura will likely get work here. Be shocked to see them attempt a fake on 4th and 7, but we'll see. Dodura's kick up the middle, and it will bounce at the 25. Whistle comes with 20 seconds left.
Burlington Township retrieval at their own 25-yard line.
So 20 seconds here for Burlington. Would be shocked to even see them attempt to get the ball down the field. A couple of interceptions in this game. Wouldn't be shocked to see them just kneel the ball and get themselves to halftime here. We'll have a timeout, and it's going to be Winslow who calls it.
Name is Brown. I don't need them.
Has anyone lost a pair of glasses? It's in the orange case. We have found some glasses. If you lost a pair of glasses, please come up to the booth.
Yeah, over there.
No.
They're over at the booth. You said here. Oh, they. Oh, I don't know. They're my mom's.
And they do kneel the ball. So that is going to do it for the first half of play. A touchdown for Burlington, 14 yards to Justin Johnson. A touchdown from Prince Drew Bay to Donovan Bunch for Winslow. And that's the scoring. A missed extra point is the only difference between the two teams. So Burlington with the 1-point lead, trying to improve to 8-0 on the season. They are in a dogfight here, a bird fight, I should say. Falcons and Eagles here at halftime at Winslow. We'll be back for the third quarter. Beginning of the third quarter here at Winslow Township High School. A 7-6 ball game. Burlington Township leading Winslow. And Winslow will receive the second half kickoff. Each team with a touchdown in the first half. Both coming in the first quarter, and then the defense is settled in. This is Donovan Bunch on the return. And Bunch was the scorer of that lone Winslow touchdown. A long pass from Prince Drew Bay, who will come out as the quarterback on offense here in the second half. A 54-yard touchdown pass from Bay to Bunch. Put 6 points on the board for Winslow. The extra point was blocked. And the lone score for Burlington came on a 14-yard pass from Danny Grozowski to Justin Johnson. That was after a turnover by Winslow deep in their own territory. 2 turnovers for each team. Prince Drew Bay threw an interception, his last possession of the first half. But other than that, has had a nice game. And a handoff on first down. Demel Reed has a gain of 2 or 3.
Pick up about 3. And bring up a 2nd and 7 on the 33-yard line.
Prince Drew Bay looking at the sideline. Taking his time before he has this ball snapped to him, and it's a handoff to Reed. And not much this time, maybe a gain of 1. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
35-yard line.
Bay with time to throw, and he undershoots his man Isaiah Lewis. Drops in front of him. So a 3 and out for Winslow on their first possession. And out comes the punting unit with Daniel Dedura to boot it away. Good time for Prince Drew Bay on that last drop back. Just undershot his receiver. Offensive line has played very well for Winslow. Here is the kick from Dedura. Low. And it's picked up. It was muffed. And I don't think Winslow got on top of it. And it looks like Burlington was lucky to get there first. But at the bottom of the pile, they're going to say it's Winslow ball. Coming out of the pile, Winslow Township's number 45 and Emerald Mitchell. So a mistake from Burlington, and Winslow able to take it away. They'll have a 1st and 10 from the 35. So it's the 3rd turnover against Burlington. The 7-0 Falcons in a battle here. Prince Drew Bay has to get rid of this one as he had pressure right in his face. Omar Rogers took him down, but Bay did get rid of the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10. Was a flag on the play, and or are they going to get Prince Drew Bay for intentional grounding? Yep, intentional grounding against Prince Drew Bay. And a loss of down, so that's a big penalty. So after the turnover, Winslow trying to make Burlington pay, but an intentional grounding penalty will bring them back. It's going to be 2nd and 21. At the 46-yard line of Burlington. Only 3 down linemen for the Falcons. Expecting a pass, so they go on the ground to DeMel Reed. Good, tough running. And a gain of 11, maybe 12 on 2nd down. Get those penalty yards back. And it'll be a 3rd and manageable. Not 3rd and 9. 3rd and 10 officially for Winslow. Prince Drew Bay fires to the near side, finds Donovan Bunch, who gets out of a tackle, and Donovan Bunch is racing towards the end zone. He's taken down just short. But a big pickup on 3rd down for Donovan Bunch. And Winslow Township High School right on the verge of taking over the lead in this game. If they can punch it in. This is where they have had issues, though, deep in the red zone. Last week, a couple of opportunities to make it a 4-score game in the game against Clearview, but they weren't able to punch it in. First and goal from the 1. Hand off to Jeremy Cobb. He's stacked up, and he's not going to get there. So 2nd and goal from the 1. DeMel Reed the back. 2 receivers split out to either side. Here's the snap, and he is hit hard. Prince Drew Bay demolished. Did the ball come out? Let's see. What are they calling? Definitely a sack, but they're going to call a fumble. Wow. A forced fumble and a sack by Burlington Township, and the Falcons will take over. Whoa. What a change in momentum that may prove to be.
Burlington Township takes over at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10.
It was Omar Rogers who came out on the strip sack. Big hit by Rogers, took it away, and now Burlington Township finally will have a chance to work the ball on offense, albeit deep in their own territory. And Vines going to be stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. Jamel Kwan makes the play. Kwan's had a nice game defensively. Loss of 3. Snap, first man through, and it's a solid run by Semi Robertson. Broken initial tackle, and then got a good chunk up near that first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short. They might stop the measure. They do mark them visibly short, so a 3rd and 1 for Burlington. after the fumble forced by Omar Rogers. Another inside handoff, and it's Semi Robertson. The ball is loose, and Winslow has it. Donovan Bunch on it. He had an interception. Now he's got a fumble recovery and a touchdown, and we're still pushing 19 minutes to play in this game. Plenty more for Donovan Bunch to do. He jumps on that football, and it is now the 4th turnover against Burlington. 3 turnovers on Winslow, 4 turnovers for Burlington. And Prince Drew Bay back on the field, a 1st and 10 from the 40. Semi Robertson coughs it up. And now it's Bay looking for Isaiah Lewis. Good coverage on the far side. Teron Ware. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Here's Bay again, looking deep. The direction of Bunch, and Bunch plays defensive back and breaks up a would-be interception. It'll be 3rd and 10 on the coverage, Andre Nadaye. Both offenses having some trouble. Winslow worked it all the way to the 1-yard line, and then Burlington was able to stack them up at the 1, then force the fumble. Now Winslow back with the ball after a Burlington fumble. 3rd and 10 from the 40. Time for Prince Drew Bay. It's intercepted after a deflection off the arms of Jaden Brown. And this time it is Omar Rogers who brings it in. Rogers with the strip sack on the last possession, and now with an interception on the very next possession. It's going to be a holding penalty against Winslow, and that will be a good interception for Omar Rogers, who has quickly turned into one of the primetime players here in this game, with 2 big defensive plays in the 3rd quarter. So now each team with 4 turnovers. Now air it out this time, and it is complete. Even with the flag, Grozowski completes it down the far sideline, like Semi Robertson. No, maybe Isaiah Pay. Yeah, Isaiah Pay with a gorgeous catch in traffic. I think this flag's going to go against Winslow. It'll be 1st and 10. They do call the pass interference against Donovan Bunch. And the penalty declined. Burlington now with good momentum with a 1st and 10. They'll spot it near the 30-yard line. The 37-yard line is where Burlington will have a 1st and 10. Handoff. And still churning his legs is Vines. Rodney Vines, who picks up 9 yards on first down. Prince Strubé makes the stop. It's up a 2nd and 2. Brzezinski, a handoff to the first man through. It's Robertson. And he may have the first down on that play. Right at the sticks. And it looks like they're going to measure. Nope, they're just going to give him the first down. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. This time they pitch it to Vines. He hits the hole up the right side. Gain of about 5.
Pick up about 5 yards to 21. In the 2nd and 5.
Rain's starting to come down a little bit harder here. And an inside handoff will gain 2 or 3 for Burlington.
Short game by 2. Maybe 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 2 to go.
On 3rd and short, another short handoff.
Another short handoff this time. Succeed. Left him there.
I think he's going to be short. 4th and short coming up here for Burlington. So a big spot in the game. Your Winslow down by 1. Trying to turn the momentum back in the Eagles' favor. Burlington short yardage situation deep in Winslow territory here. They pitch it to Vines, and Vines is going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage, and then maybe got enough for the first down. It looks like Burlington believes that he picked up the yardage. Of course, will depend on the spot. And they're going to give him the first down. 1st and 10 for Burlington, now knocking on the door inside the 20-yard line.
About 2, just enough. So from 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
The ball will be spotted at the 16. Three minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Another handoff and hit at the line. Jasim lets him in there on the stop. They gave it to Vines on first down. It'll be a 2nd and 9.
22nd and 10 after no gain.
Three men behind Grozowski. And there was movement. They do pitch it out, and a good play made by Jaden Brown defensively. There is a couple of flags on the field. And it looks like it's going to be against Burlington. The repeat second down, and actually the way that play would have turned out, you're actually happy with the penalty if you're Burlington, because it would have been third down and 10 upcoming. Instead, they get a redo on second down, albeit 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 15. Rodney Vines Jr. is the running back. They're going to pass. Krasowski looking end zone in the direction of Pay. And with one hand, he could not bring it in. The ball sailed out of bounds anyway. Jalen Cheek on the defense for Winslow. Pretty clear where Burlington wants to go with the football. Isaiah Pay has had the hot hand. Been pulling down pretty much any ball in his vicinity. That time that one was a little bit out of his grasp. So it'll be a 3rd and long. Krasowski this time looking the other side. Escaping pressure. Letsom's going to get to him. The ball may have come loose. Winslow says they have it. And they do. Another turnover. The rain has started to fall in the second half, and nobody can take care of the football.
At the 22-yard line. The 3rd turnover in the second half.
Winslow takes back over, 1st and 10, still down 7-6, 1:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Steady rain falling here in Atco. Screen to the near side, Jalen Cheek. Makes the catch, but he's taken down. Out of step after he made that catch, Dante Thompson on the play. Eight of 3, pushing 4 on 1st down. Donovan Bunch settles in the slot.
Inside handoff to Reed. Positive yardage. About 3. Up to about 29 yards. We'll bring up a 3rd and about 40 to go.
Started the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go. We start the 4th quarter.
And Winslow with the ball on the 45.
Winslow at the 45-yard line.
1st and 10. comes the pressure. They hand off to Demel Reed, and Reed is hit behind the line of scrimmage. Trayvon Black with the tackle for Burlington. Brings up a 2nd and 10. No scoring in this game since pretty early on. Both teams getting in the end zone in the first quarter. Then turnovers have dominated the storylines. First 3 possessions for Winslow here in the second half have gone punt, fumble, interception in terms of the result. Able to take over on a fumble most recently. And now on the run, Jaden Brown able to catch it off of the pass from Prince Drew Bay. Nice athletic throw there from Prince Drew Bay. It's a first down. And the chains will move as Winslow cruises into enemy territory. All at the 35-yard line. Still the missed extra point in the first quarter, the only difference between the teams. Looking to set up the short pass. Instead, they go up the middle, and he throws it away. Prince Drew Bay, an interception. Dante Thompson. The pressure came in his face, so he threw it up in the direction of Donovan Bunch, and the receiver wasn't even looking for it. So another turnover. That's the 3rd of the half for Winslow. Now the 5th of the game on the Eagles. And Burlington takes back over. Eagles playing well enough to win, but then getting into the critical areas of the field and turning the ball over. So 1st and 10 for Burlington. Now with a 1-point lead, 10:22 to go, and a good running attack to try to churn some clock off. As they give it to Rodney Vines. Gain of 4 on first down for Vines. Pitch it to Vines again, off right tackle. Prince Drew Bay is there, as well as number 18 and Jamel Kwan.
No gain. It's going to be 36 from the 36.
Freshman Jamel Kwan has had a very impressive game. Defensively, he's been all over the place. It's going to be a 3rd and 6. Rozoski looking deep in the direction of Pay. It's deflected and incomplete. Jalen Cheek and Prince Drew Bay on the coverage. Isaiah Pay got a right paw on it, but it's incomplete, and that's a 3 and out. Neither team able to make the other pay for the turnovers. So a 3 and out. Burlington in punt formation. 9 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Here's the kick as Donovan Bunch is back to receive, and he does not call fair catch, but does catch safely, and he's dropped immediately at the 31. So Winslow will get another chance to try to overtake Burlington. The score remains the same, 7-6. It's looked like this for the entirety of the game. The last couple of possessions with turnovers and not much from the offense. Big plays here and there. Winslow, though, you could argue should be winning, having a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Ultimately turning the ball over on a strip, sack, and fumble. Recovery by Omar Rogers. Here's a flag on 1st and 10. And it's encroachment against the defense. Remember, Burlington 7-0. They are undefeated to this point. And Winslow, their playoff hopes in jeopardy. A win would ensure them a spot in the playoffs, as Prince Roubaix wanted to set up the keeper. Instead, he's sacked behind the line of scrimmage for a 5-yard loss. Nick Morecambe on the tackle. 6'2", 220-pound junior able to bring him back for a 6-yard loss. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. This defense continues to shine for Burlington. See what Bay can do here. Throws off his back foot, and he's able to complete it to Jalen Cheek. I don't even know if that was his intended target, because Jaden Brown was in the area. It was a dangerous throw, but it was complete. 3rd down and 4. Upcoming here for the Eagles. 8-yard completion from Prince Roubaix to Jalen Cheek. The defensive front starting to get some pressure in on Prince Roubaix. And it has led to some tough decisions, including an interception the last drive. It's going to be a short gain on 3rd down as they try to hand it off to Demel Reed on 3rd down and 4. So 4th down and short. Here comes Daniel Dodura again to punt. Burlington, you got to be ready for a fake here on 4th and short. Defensive battle here at Winslow Township High School. Here's the kick. It's nearly blocked. And it takes a good Winslow bounce. This is going to turn into a pretty good punt. Inside the 20 it goes. They will mark it at the 21, actually. So Burlington back on the ball. 1st and 10 with under 7 minutes on the clock.
6:57 in the 4th quarter. Ball on 21-yard line. 1st and 10.
Run it with Vines. Good running up across the 30-yard line. A solid gain of 9 for Rodney Vines Jr. Such good explosion out of the backfield by Rodney Vines. Bring up a 2nd and a short 1. Roberts in the back. Give it to him. And good push from the offensive line. Across to the 35-yard line. Burlington will have a first down and 10. Winslow still has their timeouts to burn. We've still got plenty of time left. But, you know, Burlington, if they want to go with the game script that you would think they would want to, it's run the ball here in the fourth quarter. This is Vines, and here he goes up the left sideline, one of his biggest of the game, a 20-plus yard run on first down. And it'll be a first and 10 from the 44-yard line of Winslow. Timeout for Winslow. Their season on the line here. And Kenny Scott said to his team, you win and you're in, and that really is the scenario for Winslow. If they lose, they still have a chance to make the playoffs, but there's a lot of scenarios that would have to take place for that to happen. This would be the biggest win of the season for Winslow, of course, against a 7-0 Burlington team, the #1 seed at this point. Quick timeout back on the field, first and 10 for Burlington at the 45. Deep back is Vines. Check that, I believe it's Robertson who takes the carry. It is, and Semi Robertson with a 5-yard gain. And Burlington gonna take the time off the clock. Second and 5. Handoff. And it is Robertson this time not going very far. It is Jeremy Cobb in there on the stop. Bring up a 3rd and 4. As we tick to 5 minutes to go. Oski looking to throw on 3rd down, and it is incomplete. Prince Drew Bay there on the coverage. Clock stops for Winslow at 4:33, 4th and 4. Here comes the punting unit. No doubt if you're Burlington, it's the easy decision. Based on the way the defense has played. The band plays on here at Winslow and tries to keep the energy high. The Eagles will get the ball back with yet another chance to overtake the undefeated Falcons. Timeout Winslow, so they burned 2 timeouts. And not sure about that one, because if it's 4th down and 4, you know you're going to get the ball back. You just burned a timeout that you might need down the line to stop a running clock. The clock was stopped at 4:33. But anyway, Kenny Scott calls the timeout. Light rain continues to fall here in the second half. Expect a bigger storm tomorrow. Good thing that this game is being played on Friday night. we will be broadcasting tomorrow. Petty School versus the Hun School. Tomorrow afternoon, live on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Join us then. But for now, we've got a photo finish coming here from Winslow Township High School. As Burlington boots away late in the fourth quarter. Donovan Bunch says let it bounce, and he will, but all the way down to the 5-yard line, and a long field to go here for Winslow, backed up against their own end zone. With 4:22 to go, it's Burlington 7 and Winslow 6. Biggest drive of the season if you're Winslow Township. I don't think there's a question about that. To score a touchdown, you put yourself in a position to secure a playoff spot. But they got a long way to go, 95 yards for a touchdown. And Prince Drew Bay starts in his own end zone in a shotgun position. And the handoff to Demel Reed. Gain of 3. So 2nd and 7 upcoming here for Winslow. The clock ticks under 4. Another handoff to Domel Reed, and he's got another modest gain of 2 or 3. And if you're Burlington, you live with this. It's nearly a minute coming off the clock in the last 2 plays, and Winslow has gained 7 yards, having to go the large majority of the field to go. Another handoff, and another modest gain. Not going to get far. I don't think he's going to get the first down. In fact, maybe have gained a half a yard, but the stick's going to stay right there. 4th down and 3, and Winslow going to punt. Well, that drive leaving a lot to be desired if you're Winslow. They stop the clock, and it is Burlington that will call a timeout with 2:20 to go. So now you're starting to get the desperation time if you're Winslow. You're punting the ball away on 4th and 2. Maybe this is a time for them to reconsider the decision. 2:20 left, and you've already burned 2 timeouts. Might be worth it to go for it on 4th down here. Of course, if you miss, it's a short field for Burlington, but if you punt, Burlington could run out the clock and the game would be over. And it was the Falcons who called the timeout here. And Dan Dodura is back to punt. Dodura with a good kick. Very good kick. Going to come back down to the 44-yard line. So Burlington will get the ball back. 2:09 to go. Winslow has used 2 of their timeouts. So the Falcons of Burlington with a chance to pick up a first down or 2, and they've got themselves an 8-0 start to the season. And off on first down. And Rodney Vines is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Clock will run under 2 minutes to play. Winslow could surely use another one of those turnovers that their defense has come up with a number of times here in the second half in particular, but the whole game, really, that's been the story. 2nd and 10, Burlington takes its time. Vines again, the deep back. Running right side, and Vines hit first by Jamel Kwan. Brings up a 3rd and 7. And now the timeout will be taken by Winslow. 1:14 to go. And Winslow with a timeout on 3rd and 7. Best case scenario, they will get the ball back with about 40 or 45 seconds left. Need a couple of big plays to get themselves in striking distance. Conditions as the night have gone on have made it tougher and tougher to throw the football. As the rain has picked up a little bit, but it has been steady, and we know that the rain is expected to continue throughout this evening and into the morning and probably into tomorrow, a good portion too. Here they come out of the timeout. Burlington on a 3rd and 7. They hand off to Vines, and he's not going to get near the first down marker. Gets right to midfield before being stopped there. So Winslow will get a chance. The clock is going to tick under a minute.
Right at the 50-yard line. Winslow territory, marking up to 49. So it's 4th and about 5 to go.
And looks like Burlington is going to call timeout. They're going to let the clock run down, and then they'll call timeout. Milk all the time that they can before booting this away and giving Winslow one last chance to score. Or they might just take the penalty, too. They could take the 5-yard penalty. Seconds to go. Winslow has the ball at the 11-yard line. They're going to need a miracle play here. They might have a chance for a couple of plays if they want to try to put themselves in position for a last-second Hail Mary. Last week at the end of regulation, Winslow threw a Hail Mary in a tie game and completed it to Donovan Bunch, but he was taken down right before the goal line.
Timeout. Timeout by Burlington Township.
Close, heartbreaking losses have been something that Winslow has, I want to say, gotten used to in the last couple of weeks, but something that they have suffered from. Here's Prince Roubaix. He passes and completes.
Pass to the right side goes incomplete.
Oh, it was incomplete. Out of the hands of Donovan Bunch. Clock stops at 14 seconds. Prince Roubaix will run. Under 10 seconds to go. He's going to get a good chunk of yardage up to close to the 35. What are they going to call him? Down at the 25, it looks like. So 6 seconds left. We're looking at one last play here for Winslow Township. Down by 1. Bay looking, still needs to get the ball deep down the field. And it's incomplete as time expires, and that's going to do it. Burlington comes away with a victory. They are now 8-0 on the season. A tough loss. A tough loss for the Winslow Township Eagles. As we will say goodbye here from Winslow. Final 7-6, Burlington. The win over